today while the sun is shining. Today while I know I can. Past is behind me, tomorrow can't find me till I live today. Why not today while my heart is ready? Today while it's in my grasp. I start out slowly, I'm confident knowing I'm still on my way. Why not today? Welcome to the Why Not Today show with Eric Dodge and Laurel Dodge, where we are helping work together to find hope, help, and happiness. How are you, Laurel?
I'm good.
Sorry about the setup there. Every time I try something, it gets changed in my settings. We were supposed to have a portrait video, and they locked me in landscape mode or whatever it's called.
Did you push a button that did that?
I don't know why I did that.
You'll have to.
I don't know. But anyway, so you're going to have to view us like this. My soda is holding the sugar-free diet soda. Is holding the phone up. And we are in the office of Laurel here. And
I have an office.
yes. And enjoying the day. So today we are going to talk about some holiday battle planning. I got some good tips when we get to that point. So.
And I am going to get after you.
Okay.
Last week, we were supposed to do a holiday plan.
Yes.
I did my holiday plan, and Eric did not. And if that's something that becomes a big burden to you, then you don't do it.
If you plan, you fail.
If you plan. And I talked to everybody in our Dream Team Pig Club. I don't know what you
The
want
Pig
to call
Club.
it. And I said, if this is frustrating to you, where they set goals and wanted to work on it for the holidays, then don't do it. 2 of them said, oh no, that's really driving us and really helping us. Everybody's different. Do something that helps you. So if you
Okay.
don't want to plan, then don't plan. I
Well,
don't
I
care.
have
It's okay.
I have lots of plans that I can
I
adopt
know.
that have already failed. You know, I'll just bring out one that's already failed and say, "Here's my plan."
Today we're going to put on our positive pants.
I am positive. I'm positive that I'm not going to plan to fail.
Okay. we're going to be positive today.
And I do have. This is a perfect segue. Perfect segue into my
Okay.
holiday tip number 1.
Uh-oh. I haven't approved these.
Holiday tip number 1, how to get through the holidays. Speaking of positive pants, is stretchy pants.
No.
And I have some on right now that would afford me at least 20 pounds of gain before I have to go to the
No.
next size up.
And that's on my list that we're going to talk about. And people think it's funny.
The Wranglers, everybody loves Wranglers, the
No.
stretchy ones.
No, I'm going to dig out your little tiny ones and make you wear. I don't have them
Threw
at your house.
most of my pants away
Well, that's okay.
because they were reminders of when I was skinny.
Okay. You were too skinny. But anyway, that was one of the things I was going to say is wear tighter pants when you go to dinner. And some of you may be laughing.
That's it. This is not this kind of show where I take my clothes off, but I am going to take my belt off.
All right.
Because this is something that can happen when you're told to wear tighter pants, which is something I've done. I'm just offering an alternative perspective here. Sometimes your body is so fat
You're not fat.
that it can stretch from one hole to the other. See, so this is me in all my many changes of weight. You can see at one point I actually used to use this hole, then I used this one and it started to stretch. And then I went to this one. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to go to this hole right here. And then there's no way I'm going to go to the last hole on the belt. And so then when I did go to the last hole on the belt, it actually stretched into the second to last hole on the belt. So, and you can see that the leather's actually gotten narrower because my weight gain has stretched this piece of leather out. And that used to be 3 holes right there, but there's only one now, and I've almost made all 3 of these go together into one, so. Goals, life goals.
What are we to have the stretchiest belt holes in town?
Now we've got stretchy pants, we need stretchy belts.
Okay.
Can we get a stretchy belt up in here somehow?
We're not getting where we need to go today. I'm gonna have to throw you
I'm
out.
offering alternative perspectives.
So, I looked up a few things. One of them is to keep a little bit of a written journal of what you've ate during the holidays. People in Weight Watchers, they track points, other people track calories. And you don't even need to write down the calories, but if you're going along and you're thinking you're doing great and all of a sudden you have a great big weight gain, then you can go back to that journal and maybe recognize what you've done.
And I keep
Okay.
pretty good track. I do keep pretty good track of my journals, and I do have a tracking system that I use. We won't mention their names because our channel is now finally Big Boy channel. They love our channel. Thanks to all of you for watching, sharing, and subscribing. We are now a YouTube partner, they called us, and which means our channel will show up in more searches. And we've almost surpassed my music channel in subscribers, which is unbelievable.
Good.
Probably by the end of today, we will be surpassed that.
Good.
So we have to be kind of careful what we say and play because I have had some videos shut down for copyright stuff.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good, and so we have like some bars here. I don't want to show them but they're really good, and maybe we can show them. I don't know the rules. I know that we can reach out to sponsorships now, and
Okay.
people like that
Get
could.
permission to use
Well, no,
them.
we don't. I mean, you could say that I could go here and say, I'm covering up half of their name, but we love these bars. They are good. We are not sponsored or endorsed by them, but I eat at least 2
They're
of
a
them a day.
protein bar.
And I eat 2 of them a day, made by Built. And there's an app that I use, and I don't mind saying it. It's called iTrack, and
iTrack
iTrack Bites, and it's free. And it's a wonderful program if you don't want to pay money to lose weight. And there's people that wouldn't be happy with me saying that, but I think it's important.
Well, the important thing is that there are options for everybody. Something that may not work for you may work for somebody else. And if something is not working for you, I don't think you stick to it for years and years and beat yourself up that you're failing. Because it's not always you that's failing. It's maybe a change coming along or something. The next thing I wanted to suggest, you're going to be writing things down. And these things I suggest, if that's not going to work for you, don't write things down.
It has to work for you.
These are just ideas. They recommend that during the holidays you up your exercise. I will guarantee you cannot out-exercise what you eat.
This is true.
You cannot.
No, they've proven it's
Yeah.
80% what you eat, 20% exercise. And I've proven that in my own life 100 times over. I can't out-work out what I eat. I can help offset it, but you can't. It is 80% what you put in your mouth.
Exercise is good.
It's good for a lot of reasons.
Do more exercise. Increase your exercise. Do activities with your family that are more exercise-oriented than food-oriented. Eat conscientiously. Think about what you're eating. If you're eating your holiday dinner, savor the foods, slow down. It takes your stomach. Your stomach has little receptors, things in your stomach that send the message that you're full to your brain. It takes 20 minutes. There are stretch receptors. For them to stretch, release their chemicals, send them to the brain and say, hey, you're full.
Yeah.
So that's why so many times you get up from the table and you hurt. You are so full that your belly hurts. So give your body time to recognize. Most important, eat what you love. Eat your favorite things on this Thanksgiving Day. If Grandma's made a special pie that you only get once a year, you have a piece of Grandma's pie. A piece.
And this brings me back to something I want to address because I have wonderful neighbor who I didn't know was watching our show. Who would have thought that my neighbor was watching? And his wife is probably one of the best cooks that I've ever met. And I'm not kidding, Karen can make anything, and they make everything from scratch. And so the other day, they brought me over a piece of one of my favorite things, which is lemon meringue pie.
Now you're gonna get a bunch of lemon meringue.
I love lemon meringue pie, but let me say this,
Please
don't bring me stuff. Don't bring me stuff, because he brought me the pie, and somebody else brought me some store-bought cookies at the same time, and I had to make a decision of what I was gonna eat, and I'm not gonna cut myself off from things like that. Never, ever, ever. And so I decided that I would eat a few of the cookies then, and then share the rest later, and that I would eat the pie. And I had the pie, and I put it into my weight tracker, and I tracked every single point of that pie that I ate. And the next day I told my neighbor, thank you, tell Karen the pie was fabulous. And he said, I saw your show, and I've heard about your health stuff, and I've heard that you're having some struggles. Do you need me to stop bringing you treats? And I said, no and yes, please restrict me, is what I told him. I'm not gonna give up my treats. And this reminded me, because this morning on the radio, one of our friends who is a radio DJ, but also a lifetime member of a company that rhymes with Schmachers.
And her name is Cindy.
Cindy.
Oh, was we not supposed to say that?
Said that she can't go a day of her life without chocolate.
Okay.
And so she has had to find a program that allows her to have at least a piece of chocolate a day, which is the program she's on now. And she loves her chocolate. And she said last night she had to have some Cheetos. And she was able to eat Cheetos. And she said there's certain things that she craves. And so they got on the big bandwagon about the keto diet. And they were talking about it. And they had this program in the mornings called Life Something for Your Health, Morning Show for Your Health. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about how there was a big, huge study done that keto is really good for some things, and that your body does release the sugars and carbs that it's stored, but your brain does not operate without carbohydrates. And so you might be losing weight and you might be getting healthier that way, but your brain is suffering, and your thought power is suffering, and your brain cells are suffering, and that your brain absolutely 100% has to have carbohydrates to survive. So they narrowed the entire radio program down to balance and moderation in all things,
Good.
Which we've all learned, and we all know that.
Good.
And so that was something I wanted to put in there today, that you got to have your little piece of chocolate if that's what you want. If you want your piece of lemon meringue pie, enjoy it. Don't eat a whole pie like I do. Mm-hmm. I have to Windex stuff. I have to put it in the trash can and Windex it, or I will go back and dig it out and eat it.
And you have. You
And I've
have
done it
dug
before.
stuff out.
I've done it, and I'm not to make no joke.
We've all done it.
Every time I drop something on the floor that's really good, I have to think, how much dog hair's in there? Can I pick the dog hair out, and can I eat it? So
Oh, it's hard, and that's how we know we're addicts.
We are addicts.
Because we like our food. Something that they suggest is recruit an accountability buddy. This can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be someone that just
us, our group, comment on our videos, comment on our page. If you're struggling with something particular, comment under our pictures, or we're always watching your comments on our YouTube videos. We love to respond. So if you have some questions or ideas or things you need help with, reach out.
and we'll do the best we can to help you. They recommended that these buddies be cheerleaders, not judges. And there's a couple of young men in their 40s that are in this little pig group.
Pig club.
Pig club.
Well, we have I'm in the club. I'll say
You
that.
are, and there's,
I was the original second member of the pig club in 2003 when we started it.
oh,
And, we have, nowadays technology's changed so much that we can actually watch each other's weights and each other's body mass index. And we keep so in touch that we can see how somebody did one day to the other, if they're accountable enough to put that out there. A lot, you don't have to wait.
and once a week is better, I think, for some of them. But these men, and there's 3 of them, I think there's another one that's gonna join us, that go to the gym and they work out and they challenge each other. and they compare each other's weights.
I don't go to the gym and work out.
It's not Eric,
Eric goes
it's
line
some other
dancing.
men.
Eric line dances.
And they are building muscle. I can look at their charts, I can look at their tracking and look at their muscle mass and their weight, and things are changing. And they're maybe not losing a lot of weight, but I don't think any of them want to. They want to build muscle, they want to bulk up and look good and healthy.
The manager of a gym, of a very, very popular gym that just hired me, came to my cardio country line dance night on Friday. And she said that there's a huge shift of the way people are looking for exercise. And it needs to be entertaining to them. It needs to be fun. It needs to be, they're trying to figure out what that is. And they loved the way my class was so much that they want me to do it way, way, way more often. And she was so ecstatic. She's the manager of this huge multi-million-dollar gym. And she said she couldn't believe she lost 800 calories line dancing.
Burned up.
800 calories just line dancing. And she said that she didn't even know she was working out. And that's the kind of workouts that I prefer. You couldn't say, Eric, go jog for 30 minutes or go get on a treadmill or go to this. There's no way. But if you said, Eric, go dig that tree or go do that, I could do it because it's a constructive workout for me. It's something that gets my mind off stuff.
Okay, another idea is to host your own parties. Then you have control over your foods. Bring your own foods to prepare if you want to go that extreme. I suggest that you just go and taste in moderation and enjoy. We went to a dinner the other night and was invited by a couple, and the fellow likes to drink wine. But he is also trying to lose weight. He's also one in this group. And he says, I've come up with an idea. And he says, I'm going to try it tonight and see how it goes for me. And so he took his wine, and he filled the glass half full of wine, or the little serving that he's going to have. And then he had the Skinny Girl sparkling flavored water. And he added that to it, and he said, this isn't bad.
Yeah.
And so he drank his wine during the meal, and his wife sent me a message the next day, and she said he usually drinks a whole bottle of wine himself. And she says, there's half a bottle of wine left over.
Well, and they do make...
And he was so proud of himself.
They make fit wines. They make
Well,
low-calorie dry wines.
But he was so proud, and he still does that, and that he had figured out and could do that, and have his wine and do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of creativity when it comes to, especially parties, Christmas parties. They, depending on what community you live in and where you live, alcohol becomes a very big part of that. And some alcohols, especially if you're looking at points, we were talking about this the other day.
And calories.
Points relate to calories, but like one of the most popular drinks is called a Moscow Mule, and those end up being 20 points on a weight loss program, which is hundreds and hundreds of calories per drink. When certain
about 400
certain
calories.
other drinks, there's light versions, there's low calorie versions, there's dry versions. There's so many ways to skinny these up. Just look it up online. They have skinny margarita mixes. Just for fun, I walked down the aisle at our store, and they had a margarita mix that was only 10 calories, and I thought that's better than the 110 calories of the one right next to it. So a lot of changes.
Okay, so I've brought an emergency basket
Okay.
for Eric's Thanksgiving dinner.
Yay!
Okay? These are some suggestions that
I hope it's got Reese's peanut butter cups in it.
Well, the first emergency thing in my kit, do you know what this is?
Yes.
Do you know what it's for?
No.
To take your hands together and put over your mouth. We're not going to do that. I need you to talk. This is the first thing you take to your
Why not?
Thanksgiving dinner, okay?
Take my mouth shut.
Then, we're not going to do that. Give it away. I need you to talk. Think about drinking some water before your dinner.
That's a smart idea.
Fill yourself up that way.
I've been doing some mixes in these 0-calorie mixers. It's made it taste better and are not full of natural or artificial sweeteners. So.
I don't have a problem with drinking
Yeah.
water. Some people do. Some people don't like the taste of it. Okay, so another idea, a smaller plate. This is your dinner plate. How do you feel
I
about
could do.
that?
I'm pretty good at stacking. So like, I'm I'm pretty sure if I stacked it right, I could get it like at least 2 feet tall there, so.
Choose a smaller plate. Not necessarily this small, but if you think of your Thanksgiving dinner, some people have 2 or 3 plates and they fill them full of food. In your eyes, if you fill up a smaller plate, you feel like somehow you're getting as much food. So a smaller plate.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on that plate, I want you to fill up
With fake plastic food.
most of this plate.
Boy, that's called fiber right there, man. That'll clean you right out.
Look how pretty that is. With fruits and veggies and salads.
Yes.
Fill up. See, half of my plate or more is full, and look at the color. Look at the color.
I'm
Then,
still waiting for the Reese's to come out.
this is kind of not very attractive, but it's supposed to be potatoes and gravy. So there's some potatoes.
Potatoes.
And then look, you get a whole turkey.
Wow, that's called a tiny turkey.
This is the size of turkey you can have, Eric. This much. I had a drumstick, but Eric doesn't like dark meats.
Is that a finch? Is that a house?
I have these little wild canaries that
house
live in my
canary?
tree.
I wonder where the canaries went.
But look at the proportions. Okay? Fruits and veggies. And at our dinner, we always have big.
And the rolls,
Trays.
a lot of it can be who is helping prepare the dinner too that can make it so the options aren't as devastating.
But think about the colors of your plate, visualizing in a feast with your eyes on what you're eating. The next thing, your little drink, okay? Your little alcohol drink right there. Then, this is really important. There's your utensils,
Perfect.
okay? Your little fork. If that doesn't slow you down enough, I have another suggestion. We're not having a good day today.
Yes, we're having a
There you
great
go,
day.
Eric.
Chopsticks.
And
Now.
we have done this at our Thanksgiving meals before.
I can eat a whole turkey with chopsticks. 'Cause
Look at that. Oh,
Now,
you're making a mess at our
my
Thanksgiving
favorite
dinner.
was when Maverick taught us how to just stab the food, and you could stab an entire roll. Ashton's here. Do you remember that? When Maverick could stab the whole roll?
How
and just-
cute. Yeah. We did that one Thanksgiving, just gave him chopsticks. And one Thanksgiving, we gave him the little tiny fork and it had a little tiny spoon. Let's see you do it. It's fiber. Think of some fun things to do, different things at your Thanksgiving, but
I did learn how to use chopsticks at one time.
my main thing is the proportions on your plate. And you get to try a little bit of everything. The next thing I have to suggest is
This water's so good.
that good water?
It's great. Appreciate the large cup.
Give your buddy that's helping you eat a yardstick. And then you can just reach over and slap food out of their hand. Unless your buddy is sitting across the table from you, this is a ruler, then you have the yardstick. So I'm going to have Eric across from me and I'm just going to
She's gonna slap water out of my hands.
whack.
This is how you get your water in. You say, I'm gonna drink 10 glasses of water today.
That would
I've
work.
had 4 glasses since I've been
There
sitting
you
here.
go. You're
Cups,
in good
4
shape.
cups of water.
Good shape. So that's my suggestions. You said you had a couple of suggestions.
My suggestion was stretchy pants, stretchy belt.
Stretchy pants, stretchy belt.
Don't listen to my suggestions. She's right. I'm just making some fun because nobody likes to talk about food.
Oh, they like to talk about food, they just don't like to talk about.
If
not
you
eating.
saw the picture I shared yesterday, last night, I was hungry, and I love it when people share. I actually have had to unfollow people on Facebook because of the recipes and some of my favorite places. I won't even mention their names. You know what? As you notice all these notifications coming across my phone, that means that my Wi-Fi at my office has gone down. It is a good thing we're at your house today doing this.
Here we are.
because my Wi-Fi is offline at our office that we normally do our show, so
Okay. well,
meant to be.
It was meant to be.
But I have to unfollow some of those because they start showing those, and I just have to go buy them. Like it's like, oh, I
Like
gotta go try
cookies, you
it.
mean cookies? and-
Cookies, pies, cakes, desserts, and then I get really mad when they actually sponsor ads, and somehow I know that I'm the target for that sponsor because they know that I want cookies. And so when I see people sharing these very healthy things like grapes and bananas and strawberries turned into little Santa hats, I had to go make them, and they were so good. Last night I sat there and ate those and watched TV, and it was awesome. I loved it. So keep sharing the healthy recipes. I'm on my way today to buy cauliflower rice
Okay.
because my neighbor made me some food out of cauliflower rice, and I saw a recipe today for cauliflower rice pizza crust. And the crust is like zero, I mean, it has calories in it, but when the calories are complex, it doesn't count most of the time because your body can't, like they say, eating a piece of celery actually makes you burn calories because it's harder for your body to break that celery down calorie wise than it is for the calories you're getting out of it. So I'm gonna try this cauliflower rice, put some soy sauce on there, and I could even cut up some little pieces of lean ham or something. I could have myself some pretty nice.
You could, and I was gonna say, I had a couple send me messages when you mentioned about Valerie's soup and how good it was and for the recipe, and she just kind of threw that together, but I know that Rose might want that recipe, so let me know, Rose, if you want it,
Yeah, the soup.
then I can send it to you.
My one neighbor, Val, she makes all these healthy foods, and she's introduced me to some neat stuff. By the way, she does it. They go by color, the colorful foods, and the beans and the cauliflowers, and they do a really good job. Ground turkey, 99% fat free. She's made some really good foods.
Can I tell a story about her?
Sure, but change your name if it needs to be changed.
For a long time, I didn't know that Valerie was the gal that lived next door to Eric. And she's got a dog that when I pull up it barks. And so I would get out of the car and just say, quit barking, Valerie. Be quiet, Valerie. And I didn't know that that was her name and not the dog.
Now, the dog's name is Howie.
And then she was outside when I was yelling, be quiet, Valerie.
Howie's my buddy now, so Howie doesn't bark at me since he knows me.
She sees me pull up and she runs in the house now. No, she doesn't really. I fixed that. Okay. I think next week we may try to come up with a few holiday recipes that I have found that have helped, that my family has not even known, that I've cut some of the calories and the sugars and things out of it. Share those with you. I want to remind you, oh, if I can get it, this is our goal, to not have this happen to us. When what to my wondering eyes should appear, but 10 extra pounds on hips, thigh, and rear. We're trying to not let this happen this year.
If it does, stretchy pants are the key.
If it does, you know what I say?
Stretchy Wranglers.
We'll fix it.
Stretchy
We'll
Wranglers.
fix it.
And like I showed you with my belt, you can always still not wear the last belt loop and feel good about yourself because your body will just stretch it to where it needs to be.
And I have one more quote to share with you, because I think this is very important. If you're searching for that one person that will change your life, take a look in the mirror. We all need to look in the mirror, Eric, and realize, and I know you've worked really
Yes,
hard
I have.
this week and done really,
And I'm working on a battle
Yeah.
plan for the next few days because when I'm in the studio, which that reminds me of, tomorrow I'm working on a song by Old MJ that begins with the words, I'm going to make a change for once in my life.
and you've done well this week. You've made some changes, and even though you didn't write down a commitment, you
Yeah.
have
I
dug
have
in
done-
and done
I've done some
really
good
well.
things.
You should be proud of yourself. Okay,
So that's what we got today.
that's it. Look at this pretty little plate.
Start thinking ahead, and I've got some friends that have joined us, and they know how diligent we've talked back and forth about how healthy we need to be this year. It's all in the support circle. Everybody knows sabotagers.
Oh, yeah.
Watch out for your sabotagers. If they see you doing something, they don't even realize it, but sometimes they do it to help to sabotage you so that you won't be happy with your results. So
I don't think they know that.
they don't know that
really
they're doing it. They don't know. They just.
Food is love.
You used to give that message about how they grew up showing love by giving food. You can give food. I thought this year maybe I'll buy little bags of oranges for my neighbors instead of buying cookies, you know? Because you never know. Cookies are a nice gesture, but some people might be dealing with diabetes and health issues. And give them something they can enjoy. The thought that counts. It doesn't matter how fancy it looks or how nice it is. A lot of stuff to think about. We'll talk about some more of that next week. But for now,
See you next week.
the Why Not Today Show.